It was a cool spring evening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the kind where the crisp air carries the promise of new beginnings. On the surface, it was a night like any other. But beneath the city's calm, a chilling darkness was beginning to unfold, one that would send shockwaves across the nation and leave a community gripped in fear. This is the story of Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old woman with dreams bigger than the city she lived in, and the man whose sinister intentions would end those dreams far too soon. Sade was radiant, vibrant, smart, and filled with ambition. Friends say she had a laugh that could light up any room and a kindness that reached everyone she met. She was a student, a daughter, a friend, and she was just beginning to step into adulthood with excitement and hope. She had goals. She was determined. She believed in herself. That's what made her sudden disappearance so horrifying. It all started with a dinner date. On April 1st, 2024, Sade planned to meet a man she had been chatting with, 24-year-old Theodore Michael Tundador. The plan was simple. Dinner, some conversation, and maybe the start of something new. Sade, dressed beautifully and texting friends with smiling emojis, left for what should have been an ordinary night. But she never came back. By the next morning, friends and family were worried. Texts went unanswered. Her phone went silent. And then came the most gut-wrenching sign. Sade's car was found abandoned, its doors slightly ajar. What happened to Sade? The search began immediately. Police, volunteers, and media mobilized. Flyers plastered every pole in the neighborhood. The city buzzed with one question. Where was Sade? Just a day later, the horror began to surface. A leg, yes, a human leg, was discovered near the lakefront. Cleanly severed. DNA confirmed it belonged to Sade. Milwaukee was in disbelief. The kind of disbelief that chills your bones and freezes your breath. A beautiful young woman had not only vanished but been brutally dismembered. As detectives combed through surveillance footage, the truth began to emerge in agonizing pieces. Sade had indeed met Theodore Tundador for dinner. Cameras captured them together at a seafood restaurant. Nothing seemed off until later that night, when Theodore's phone pinged near an industrial site, far from the lake. Investigators followed the trail. It led them to a gruesome reality. More body parts began to surface. The public's worst fears were confirmed. Sade had been murdered and dismembered, but the question lingered: why? Theodore was arrested and charged with first-degree intentional homicide. The evidence against him was overwhelming. Blood traces in his car, GPS data, surveillance footage, witness statements. Yet the motive remained elusive. Had he planned this all along? Was it a spontaneous act of violence? Or was there something deeper, something more terrifying behind his smile? As the court proceedings began, details poured out like cold rain on a grave. Prosecutors revealed that Sade had tried to fight back, that she had screamed, that she had begged for her life. But Theodore was merciless. The city mourned. Vigils were held. Candles were lit. Mothers held their daughters a little tighter. And the nation watched as another young life was taken far too soon. This wasn't just a murder. It was a calculated, gruesome act that shattered a family and haunted a community. So, we ask you, what drives a person to commit such evil? Could this have been prevented? And most importantly, how do we make sure another Sade isn't lost to the shadows? As this story unfolds in courtrooms and headlines, remember her name: Sade Robinson, a young woman with dreams, with laughter, with life. Not just a victim, but a voice. If the story moved you, if you felt that chill run down your spine, then share this. Like, subscribe, and help us keep Sade's story alive. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell us how you felt. And tell the world, we won't forget.